fourth game of the season, he comes in with a perfect 3-0 record, a goals against average of 1.33, a save percentage of 94.4. Brendan Pellerito getting the calling goal for Norwich. His record is 2-9-1 on the season, a goals against average of 4.27, a save percentage of 89.2. Norwich in their home white uniform, skating from right to left on your screens at home as we're underway. And it's the Sea Captains with the puck in the offensive zone. Captain Sean Loftus trying to move it up the wards. Tyler Zembricki getting in the way, and he sends it into the Long Beach bench. You might notice on your screens at home that backup goaltender for the Long Beach Sharks, Grayson Skirpin, is not wearing his usual blue and gray uniform. That's being worn by Evan Richards, the defenseman, who apparently had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction, so to speak. So Richards wearing number 1, and he'll go chase after this. Also going after the puck is Devin Carney. Carney gets wiped out by a pair of Norwich forecheckers. Norwich starting out aggressive on the forecheck. They want to jump onto the Long Beach Sharks early. Here's Carney from center ice sending it down deep. Zembricki, the first one there. He's quickly canceled out by Loftus. Loftus tried moving it along for Killian Ranger. Aiden Bain able to flip it out towards center ice, where defenseman Tony Moran will take the puck. Moran to the outside, looking for some reinforcements. They're coming off the bench for the Sea Captains, but Moran gets knocked down to the ice, and Zembricki at the red line will shovel one down deep into a Norwich zone and go off for a change himself. Pellerito reverses on back. Turned over, and now the Sharks get to work in the offensive zone. Moving on in, it's Gilbert. Sent on goal, saved by Pellerito. Rebound comes out. Medvedev a shot, and that's blocked. Troy Harwell looking to clear on the far side half wall. Sharks keep it in the zone. Turning with it is Mac Rostart. Giving back Gilbert at the point, right into the breadbasket of Pellerito, and he'll hold on. Just a minute and a half gone by in the first period. Seems as though we lost a couple seconds off the clock there, but hey, not everybody's had their coffee yet today. Faceoff's going to be to the left of Pellerito, as Jake Weichel will step in against Tegan Beyer. Beyer's been finding the back of the net a bit more often lately. 9 goals and 4 assists so far this season for the native of Lisbon, Connecticut. Always interesting in Connecticut how many town names are shared elsewhere. Of course, New Jersey has New Egypt. That's a whole country. 18-12 to go in the first period. Still no score between these two teams. The Long Beach Sharks, so far in the 2022 calendar year, they've played 3 games. They've earned points in all 3 games. A 2-1 victory right here against the Norwich Sea Captains on January the 7th. A shootout loss to the Danbury Hat-Tricks by a 3-2 margin. And then on the 16th, yesterday, the Long Beach Sharks took out some aggression. 7-1, the victory over the New Jersey Titans, as the Titans themselves are reeling in the standings. Sent on down into the Sea Captain zone. Pellerito will shovel it along to the near side wall. Aiden Cook, or check that, Wilkie Cook trying to come up with the puck. Now Timmy Hayden. Long pass through center ice onto the stick of Cam Holton. Holton into the zone to the outside around Richards. Holton from a bad angle sends it off the side of the cage. It's loose behind the net, thrown up the wall. Darryl Smith kept it alive, but only for a moment. Poked past him, and now coming up ahead is Chris Bernard. Bernard to the outside, a shot gloved by Pellerito, and he'll hold on. Well, Darryl Smith caught flat-footed at the blue line, and that allowed Chris Barnard to come on down. Barnard, however, couldn't really catch up to the puck and drive towards the center of the net. And so Pellerito, tight up on the post, makes the save. Faceoff will be to his left with 2 minutes and 40 seconds gone by in the first period. Off the draw, Ethan Ranger takes a tumble down to the ice alongside Walker Montgomery. Puck stays in the Norwich zone as Carney swings it across the blue line. Doggett couldn't control it. Now Brian Essing up ahead. He picks up Jack Kinahan. Kinahan along the goal line, a rising shot off the shoulder of Bender. Jack Kinahan had the game-winning goal against New Jersey. Sean Loftus had a goal. Ethan Ranger a goal. Brian Essing, his first junior-level hockey goal, or rather junior-level goal. It was a junior-level baseball goal. I'd have a couple more questions. Tony Moran sends it back down deep as a physical play starts to pick up in the neutral zone. Ethan Ranger on the forecheck, comes up with the puck, quickly spun off of his stick. Loose puck picked up by Holden Wiltfong, and Wiltfong gives up ahead. Now a 2-on-1 developing for the Sharks, sent across. This one is trickling around in the crease as it was spiked on goal by Walker Montgomery. If it had crossed the line, you have to figure it would not have counted as he pawed that down with his glove. No icing on the play as retreating behind his own net is Kyle Gilbert. Gilbert has a pair of forecheckers to deal with, manages to send the puck between the two of them, and Fisher sends it back down into the Norwich zone. Just about 4 minutes gone by in the first period as the puck is quickly cleared out by Tim Hayden. D to D they go, and now Tyler Fisher through center ice off the stick of Evan Tower. At center ice, Ryo Yamamoto had it knocked away from him. Sharks, however, maintain possession. As you see, once again, the aggressive forecheck of the Sea Captain, sending two guys down deep. They'll need to be strong in the neutral zone, as the Sharks certainly have no problem looking for that home run pass. Sent up the wall, Fisher has his shot blocked, picked up by Hayden, and Hayden chips one off the glass, soccered back into the zone by Fisher, and that's going to be offsides as Ryo Yamamoto had not touched up in time. 15:23 to go in the first period. Drew Schemmel, Jamison Bain, Troy Harwell out on the ice for the Sea Captains. They've got Hayden and Matteo Romita on the blue line. Jake Weichel, the captain of the Long Beach Sharks, steps in for this draw against Bain. Bain with the clean face-off win back. Matteo Romita sends one off the wall. No icing on the play. Carney the first one to it. Schemmel hot on his tail. Carney in the corner. Schemmel gets into a defensive position, forces Carney to retreat back behind his net. Now Jamison Bain on the forecheck, forces an errant pass that goes all the way down into the Norwich Sea Captain zone. Bain, or check that, Hayden plays it off the wall. Schemmel turns it over at center ice, and now Jake Weichel back in. Weichel a shot, that goes off the shaft of the stick of Pellerito. Now Mac Rostert. Rostert looking for the shot, sends one in front, but unable to corral the pass was Dylan Harbour. Pellerito had lost his stick on the play, and Harbour would have had an empty 4x6 to shoot at if he could have controlled the pass. Icing called against Long Beach, and an offensive zone faceoff coming up for the Sea Captains. 5 minutes and 27 seconds into the first period. It'll be Wilkie Cook, Tegan Byer, Cam Holton up front. Wilkie Cook scoring his first 2 goals in the NA3HL at the Blaine Super Tournament that was held the week of Christmas back in December. Shot from the point off the stick of Smith goes wide. At that Super Tournament, the Sharks went 1 for 2 in their 3-game set. The Sea Captains, 1 regulation loss, 2 losses in overtime. Wilkie Cook unable to come up with the puck in the corner, sent out towards the neutral zone, where it's picked up by Nick Sachs. Sachs up ahead, over the blue line. We have a whistle, and I believe offsides has been called against the Sharks. Faceoff will come outside of the Norwich zone with 14:04 to go in the first period. Nick Sachs, along with about 8 other Norwich players, taking advantage of the cold temperatures around here lately, went skating out on one of the lakes around here. Lots of waterways to choose. Just make sure you choose one that has the ice that's thick enough. And Sachs, when playing out there, everybody has a favorite uniform they like to wear. For example, Sean Loftus had the old Boston Bruins B logo. Barnard tried going inside out. Puck comes back up to the point. Nick Sachs was rocking himself a North Carolina State club hockey jersey. Barnard shot swallowed up by Pellerito. He'll hold on. But NC State, the Ice Pack, as they're known, don't normally see their jerseys heading up this way. And for those of you who don't follow the ACHA, there are certainly plenty of good-looking jerseys out there. I am partial to Clemson's purple set. Normally you wouldn't expect a purple and orange jersey to look good. Clemson manages to pull it off well, but the absolute best jerseys in club college hockey belong to the University of Oregon. A bright Kelly green jersey, yellow highlights, and a very happy Donald Duck-looking character on the crest. It's a great-looking thread. Here's Gilbert at his own blue line. Retreating further back, tries playing it up ahead, knocked off the puck was Barnard. Now Tony Moran sees Ethan Ranger send it back down into the Long Beach zone. That's center ice. Getting tied up was Matt Carson, and it's sent back down into the C-Cap zone. Over 7 minutes gone by now in the first period. Ethan Ranger unable to clear. Shot from the point from a long ways away. Pellerito steers it into the corner. Aiden Bain got knocked down in the slot. He looks to the referee for a whistle. There's none coming. Puck now behind the net. Montgomery has his stick lifted. Ethan Ranger will pick it up. Ranger goes back behind the net for Moran. Moran, with an impending forecheck, throws it off the glass. This goes all the way down the ice. Should be icing. And there's the whistle as number 1, Evan Richards, touches up the puck. 12:24 to go in the first period. Still no score between these two teams. Only one other game in the NA3HL today. And it will be a 2:05 Eastern Time face-off up in Edmond, Oklahoma, as the Louisiana Drillers pay a visit to the Oklahoma City IceHawks. IceHawks and the Norwich Sea Captains, yeah, well, they're simpatico with each other. The two teams shared a bus out in Blaine, Minnesota. And Oklahoma City last year managed to make it all the way to the Fraser Cup. Norwich, as an expansion team, well, they didn't quite exist yet. Sent around to the far side. Wiltfong has it knocked away by Aiden Bain. Richards goes behind the net. Fisher will help it along further. Montgomery pressured from behind by Hayden. Evan Tower at the blue line holds it in. His shot gets blocked. Romita holds it alive again. Gives to Hayden down low. Hayden tried swinging one towards the front of a net. Knocked away. Now Romita at the point. Bounces one in on goal. Bender sends it into the corner. Schemmel wanting to get a cycle going with Evan Tower. Instead, the puck is stolen away. Now loose at center ice. Montgomery will chip it down deep. Troy Harwell, the first one to it for the Sea Captains. Nice play off the back of the net. Gives himself a little space. But then his outlet pass gets knocked away by a forechecking Shark. Loose puck picked up by Romita. Mateo Romita gets it into the zone. Schemmel following up on the play. His shot kicked aside by Bender. Yamamoto up ahead now. Plant knocked down at the red line by Hayden. Off, or rather, icing is called. And the Sea Captains will have an offensive zone face-off with 11:03 to go in the first period. Pretty even game so far between these two teams. We mentioned the Norwich record, 3 victories this year. Their first victory as a franchise came back on September 26th at the Long Beach Municipal Ice Arena, a 4-1 victory over these Long Beach Sharks. They followed that up with a victory against the Bay State Bobcats, and 3 games into the year, the Sea Captains were 2-1. Their record not quite indicative of that start these days, as Zembricki gets it on in. A backhand shot saved by Pellerito, and he holds on. Logan Plant managed to get behind the Norwich defense, and then Plant has a couple words for Cam Holton. They're able to easily separate each other. 10:41 to go in the first period. Faceoff remains in the Norwich zone to the right of Brendan Pellerito. It'll be Ethan Ranger, Brian Essing, and Jack Kinahan. Up front, Logan Plant on the draw for Long Beach. Face-off won by Ranger as Loftus sends it around behind the cage. Pinching on in from the point is Carney. He'll keep things alive. Tripped up in the corner. Play continues as Loftus plays up ahead Essing. Essing's pass off the stick of Kinahan, collected by Plant. Falling down on the play was Medvedev. Sharks, however, able to maintain possession. Now it's turned over. Here's a shot by Kinahan. Goes over the top of the net. Follow-up shot by Ranger goes wide. Yamamoto looking to clear. He does. Here's Zembricki on a developing 2-on-1. Zembricki in. His shot. Stopped by Pellerito. Rebound knocked out towards the blue line. Kinahan looking to clear, but a nice job by Medvedev to keep it on in. Now Yamamoto a shot. Saved by Pellerito. Rebound comes out. Pellerito another save, and this time he holds on. Just past the halfway point of this first period. 9:58 to go in the first. And we're still scoreless between Norwich and Long Beach. It'll be Max Rostert on the draw. He'll go up against Evan Tower. Evan Tower, a Salem, Connecticut native. There's another one of those borrowed cities names. Shot from the point, stopped by Pellerito. Flipped up by Romita, but not out. Puck pinballing towards the front of the net, now along the sidewall. Aiden Bain looking to work it on out. Just gets it over the blue line. And now Evan Tower with the puck into the Long Beach zone. Tower from a long ways away, missed to the short side. Killian Ranger looking to come up with possession. Stolen away by Gilbert and sent out into the Norwich zone. Romita sends it back the other way. And then Aiden Bain comes together with Tyler Fisher. Puck ends up in the Norwich bench. It's a Norwich home game, so you can't call that one of the souvenirs. If it ends up in the Long Beach bench, yeah, sure, it might go missing, as it would with any away team. 9:26 to go in the first. Controlled by the Sea Captains off the draw. Here's Hayden. Killian Ranger will swing it all the way down on goal, and Bender takes no, he will take the chance and play the puck out. Weichel tries working it up the wall. Rolled off the stick of Gilbert. Following up on the play is Fisher. He's able to shovel it up ahead. Now here come the Sharks. 2-on-1 down low. And Evan Tower, a solid defensive play, manages to take the puck away from Ryu Yamamoto. Behind the net. Centering feed knocked away off the stick of Pellerito. Looking to clear is Tower. He works it over the blue line and then softly sends it into the Long Beach zone before he goes off for a change. Quickly swung back up ice. Weichel plays it into the Norwich zone. Norwich with 5 fresh sets of legs on the ice as Nick Sachs keeps possession of the puck in the far side corner. Sachs gives along Schemmel, played off the boards, and now here's Jamison Bain. Bain tripped up at the blue line. That's going to be a penalty against the Sharks. And with 8:26 to go in the first period, we'll have our first power play of the afternoon, and it belongs to the Norwich Sea Captains. Going to the box for Long Beach is Devin Carney. He'll sit 2 minutes for tripping. Coming into this game, the Sea Captains ranked 26th overall in the 34 League NA3HL. They convert on 19.8% of their power plays. They have surrendered 10 short-handed goals. They'll need to tighten up in that category. Meanwhile, the Long Beach Sharks right in the middle of the pack, 20th overall in the NA3. They kill off 72.1% of their penalties. Ethan Ranger, Evan Tower, Drew Schemmel, the first power play unit, with Tim Hayden and Tony Moran on the point. On the draw for Long Beach was Hayden Doggett. Doggett sent it around behind the cage. Ethan Ranger looking to come up with position. He gives on down low for Schemmel. Schemmel sends it behind the net. Tower taken out by Fisher. Schemmel then blows a tire in the corner. Hayden keeps it alive at the blue line. His shot goes off the glass. Tower wants to give along for Schemmel. Sent all the way down the ice. Chasing after this for the Sharks is Hayden Doggett. So Pellerito will come on out. We talked earlier about how aggressive the Norwich forecheck's been in the Long Beach zone. Well, Long Beach certainly not content to allow Norwich to stay to the outside in the offensive zone. They're sending pressure to whoever the puck carrier happens to be. Here's Moran at the blue line. His shot gets blocked. Glove down by Plant, and Plant, without much speed, going through a center ice. He's wiped out by Moran right in front of the Norwich bench. Puck underneath the body of Moran, now back up to his skate. Schemmel gives back to Hayden. Then 55 seconds remains on the Sea Captain's first power play of the afternoon. Here's Schemmel. Now Ethan Ranger. Ranger driving to the outside. Ranger from a sharp angle, saved by Bender. It's loose in the blue paint. Everybody poking at it. A backhand shot by Smith gets denied. Jack Kinahan, fresh off the bench, gives down low where he finds Brian Essing. Essing a shot. That gets blocked. Pops up into the air. Lands behind the net. Essing wanted to go back to the point. Pinching on in was Byer. No sale there. Now it's a 2-on-1 back the other way. It's Weichel with Dylan Harbour. Weichel keeps the puck himself, and Sean Loftus denies him a shot whatsoever. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Tegan Byer over the red line and into the Long Beach zone. Byer at the half wall, gets tripped up. Play continues. Essing battling with Richards. Loose puck picked up by Harbour. He'll direct one off the wall out into the neutral zone. Loftus, a dangerous play, as if Harbour was able to get that puck past him, would have been a 2-on-0 from the red line for Long Beach. Penalty has expired, and we're back to 5-a-side hockey with 6:18 to go in the first period. Here's Zimbricki sending it on down into the Sea Captain zone. First one to it is Matteo Romita. The Ontarian circling in the corner behind the net. Gives along far side for Schemmel. Schemmel plays cross ice. Troy Harwell. Harwell had trouble controlling that off of the boards. Takes a shot from Carney. Sent around, and now Zimbricki Can't get it out of the zone. Kept alive by Harwell. Harwell plays one through the legs of Fisher. Schemmel's backhand shot stopped by Bender. Sent in front outside the reach of Harwell. Jamison Bain goes back. Hayden at the point. His shot goes wide. Around the roulette wheel it goes, and Bricky gives up ahead now to one-on-one. Yamamoto working on Hayden. Yamamoto trying to get towards the front of the net. Pellerito makes the save, and he'll hold on as sticks were flying around like fencers out there. But the faceoff will remain in the Norwich zone. 5:33 to go in the first period. Still no score between the Sharks and the Sea Captains. Evan Tower, Aiden Bain, Killian Ranger for the defensive zone faceoff. Holden Wiltfong on the draw for the Sharks. Faceoff was won by Tower. Sent into the corner. Tower trying to work on through. Everybody battling for it in front of the Zamboni doors. Now Tower gives along for Aiden Bain. Bain has it knocked away by Gilbert, pinching in deep from the point. Now Bain again, this time taken away by Wiltfong. Montgomery sends down low. Sharp angle attempt stopped by Pellerito. Didn't quite know where the rebound was, but he draws the whistle regardless, and the faceoff will be to his right. 5:07 to go in the first period. Brendan Pellerito playing in his second game in a row. Patrick Cristo made his Norwich debut back on January the 12th, a 9-1 defeat to the Northeast Generals. Andrew Yoakum has been out for the past couple weeks with an illness. Hope to see him back in the Norwich crease soon. Under 5 to play. Evan Tower, or check that. That's Wilkie Cook trying to work it up the wall. Here's Fisher giving along Wiltfong. Wiltfong a shot, gloved by Pellerito. He holds on, and then Pellerito gets a bit of a slash. Not sure who the Long Beach player was who gave a whack to the goaltender. The referee tells the players to knock it off, and the faceoff will remain in the Sea-Cap zone. 4:45 to go in the first period. Tegan Byer, Cam Holton up front alongside Wilkie Cook, Jake Weichel, Max Rostert, and Dylan Harbour up front for the Sharks. Off the draw, controlled by Long Beach. Weichel wanted to send it down low. That went off the skates of Byer. Holton able to clear as far as the neutral zone before Evan Richards sends it back on down. Now Loftus from behind the net for Wilkie Cook. Cook taken down on the play. Dylan Harbour poking at the pile, hoping to free things up. Now Weichel stepping on in, a rising shot off the glove of Pellerito. Cam Holton is tied up with Max Rostert in the slot. Looks like it was a puzzle they had to figure out together, but they're both back up on their skates as the puck is controlled by the Sharks in their own end. Here's Carney through center ice. Loftus, pass intended for Cook, went over his stick. Tegan Byer will swing it on down, and as the Sea Captains begin to change. Richards from behind his own cage gives along Rostert. Rostert, long cross ice pass. Weichel sends it into the Long Beach zone. Picked up by Romita. Romita cleared behind the net. Puck still hanging out back there. Sharks take possession, and then a quick wraparound shot. Pellerito had to be tight on the post to make the save. 3:30 to go in the period. Rostert goes back to the point. Walking along the blue line is Gilbert, giving back Rostert. Rostert, a shot. We have a whistle, and we've got a pair of penalties coming up. I think it's going to be Tony Moran heading to the box alongside Dylan Harbour. Skilled players for both these teams. And that's exactly what it's going to be. So Moran and Harbour will both sit 2 minutes for roughing, and we'll skate 4 aside for a full 2 minutes, assuming no other penalties. 3:19 to go in a scoreless first period, and another offensive zone faceoff coming up for Long Beach. It's Ethan Ranger and Brian Essing up front for the Sea Captains. Essing will step in for the draw. He goes up against Jack Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with the faceoff win. Medvedev, his turnaround shot got blocked. Essing picks up the loose puck in the corner, plays it into an empty area, but Chris Barnard's the first one there. Barnard goes back Gilbert. Swung across for Medvedev. Medvedev throws one on, saved by Pellerito. Hayden's able to poke the puck into the corner, but the Sharks maintain possession. Here's Barnard trying to do work around Romita. Sent on back to Medvedev at the point. Medvedev's shot knocked down by Romita. However, Montgomery will come up, or check that, Fitzpatrick with possession. Fitzpatrick gives back Gilbert. Gilbert just had the puck go over the blue line. Ethan Ranger, the reason why. And face-off will come back out into the neutral zone with 2:37 to go in the first period and a minute 18 to go in 4-on-4 action. Zembricki and Yamamoto up front. Both of them have some wheels for the Sharks. Jamison Bain, Jack Kinahan, not too shabby themselves. A warning against the Sharks. Norwich will decline the yardage, and we play on as Kinahan sends one off the boards into center ice. Zembricki able to knock it away. Loftus steals it right back, sends it off the sidewall, and then Loftus one more time off the wall, gets it out. Here's Tim Hayden stepping up on the play. Hayden trying to work around the defense of Tyler Fisher. Fisher, one of the bigger defensemen that you'll see in this league, 6'4", 180 pounds. Zembricki, of course, is 6'5". Must be something in the water on Long Island, as a whistle on the offsides against Long Beach, and the face-off will come back out towards center ice. So 2:07 to go in the first period, and 48 seconds to go in 4-on-4 action. So Zembricki and Jamison Bain on the draw. Jamison Bain, last year a defenseman for the Danbury Junior Hat-Tricks. This year playing a bit more as a forward, and quite frankly, he's looked good as a forward. Defensively responsible, as I suppose you would expect for someone who's used to manning the blue line. Norwich in the middle of a change with 30 seconds to go in 4-on-4 action. Here is Carney. Or check that, that's Fisher. Through center ice at the blue line, he throws it down deep. First one there's Troy Harwell. He goes along far side for Daryl Smith. Schemmel kicks it back to Smith, and then Hayden's able to direct it on in. Harwell on the forecheck, getting to the puck first is Medvedev. He plays it along the near side wall. Yamamoto nearly chased behind the net, instead cuts through the bottom of the crease. Nearly has his pocket picked by Harwell. Yamamoto still holding on to the puck. Tried to give along for Richards. Richards at least gets it over the Norwich blue line. 70 seconds to go in the period, and we're back to five-a-side hockey as Richards sends around to the far side. Harwell can't control, and Bricky's able to clear. Sachs gets it back down into the Long Beach zone. Sachs again knocks it off the stick of Zembricki. Zembricki then sends a pass that's behind Montgomery. From off the wall, Montgomery will send it down deep. 50 seconds to go in the period. Here's Daryl Smith. Smith through center ice. His pass to nobody in particular was knocked away by Medvedev. Now Sachs, he'll play one off the glass. That bounces over the stick of Harwell. Medvedev back at his own blue line. Sends one that deflects off the lip of the boards. Sachs able to field it. And gets knocked down from behind. 26 seconds to go in the period. Unable to hold the puck at the blue line was Kyle Gilbert. So Gilbert will go back to retrieve. 18 seconds to go. Gilbert behind the net, watched by Harwell. Byer will smoke him on out. 10 seconds. Out towards center ice. Romito will control. His pass gets intercepted. 4 seconds to go in the period. Hayden behind his own net will simply pin the puck up against the boards. And it's Killian Ranger, Tower, and Bain up front for the home squad. Stepping in for the draw is Logan Plant. He's flanked by Ryo Yamamoto and Tyler Zembricki, as finally we are back underway. Sent down into the Sea Captain zone. No icing on the play, so Sean Loftus has to play the puck. Zembricki right on top of him. Plant had it knocked away. At the point, Richards sends back down into the corner. Plant and Loftus come together. Loftus getting the better of it as Aiden Bain looks to clear out of the zone. Evan Tower poking in at it as well. Eventually it's Bain who comes up with it, and Aiden Bain will gain the red line. Had the puck hop up over his stick. He's still able to reach back behind and send it down deep. Bender sends it into the corner. Tower touches one towards the front of the slot, knocked away by the Long Beach defense, sent out towards center ice, and Loftus sends it back down. We have a whistle, and are they going to call an icing on this? I think there was a miscommunication between the officials, as Norwich had a delayed offsides, and then the other official blew it dead on icing. But it's not an icing against the Sea Captains, and because of the errant whistle, the faceoff will be in the Long Beach zone. 45 seconds into the second period. Jamison Bain on the draw against Captain Jake Weichel. Bain, the right-handed shot. This time Weichel with the face-off win, and he gives up ahead. Here's Rostert to the outside, trying to get around Romita. Rostert, he scores! Max Rostert goes upstairs over the blocker side of Brendan Pellerito. And just 53 seconds into the second period, the Sharks are on the board. It's 1-0. For Max Rostert, it is his 6th goal of the season, his 4th as a member of the Long Beach Sharks. He was acquired from the New Ulm Steel earlier in the year, and that trade turned his season around, and it's worked out well for Long Beach. They lead it 1-0. Here's Cam Holton looking to respond. Holton from a long ways away, off the lip of the glove of Justin Bender and out of play. Faceoff will be once again in the Long Beach zone. Tegan Byer, Wilkie Cook, Cam Holton tasked with evening up this game quickly for the Sea Captains. Off the draw, won by Byer. Holton had it go through his legs. Now Byer gives across Wilkie Cook, a rising shot, deflects over the top of the net. Medvedev behind the net for Long Beach, sends it into the near side corner. Gilbert works it up the wall. Bumped off the puck was Rostert. Byer throws one towards the cage, stuck aside by Bender. Now Cook in the far corner. Gives along for Holton. Holton pursuing the puck behind the net, has Gilbert to deal with. Also involved is Byer, but it'll be Gilbert who comes up with the puck, and he gives back along for Max Rostert, the only goal scorer in this game. He gets around Sachs. Rostert, a rising shot, blockered aside by Pellerito. Rostert now throws one back up towards the blue line. This goes out towards center ice. Richards back to retrieve. Norwich in the middle of a change is Dylan Harbour. Gets thrown against the wall by Sachs. Ethan Ranger, fresh off the bench, had the puck for a moment. D to D they go. Long Beach is able to clear. Here's Darryl Smith at center ice, unable to come up with possession of the puck as it's sent on down into the Norwich zone. Weichel manages to get around Sachs, but Smith back in position, knocks it away. Now Fitzpatrick cuts out towards the front, a shot saved by Pellerito, and he'll hold on as Jack Fitzpatrick got belted down to the ice, trying to get to the hard areas. Faceoff will be to Pellerito's right, with 2:20 gone by in the second period, and the Sharks holding on to a 1-0 lead. Fitzpatrick on the draw. He's got Carson on the blue line awaiting the faceoff. Instead, it's won by the Sea Captains. Essing unable to clear. Now taking the shot was Carson, blocked by Moran. Bernard goes back at the point. Shot goes wide. Loose puck in the corner. Loftus the first one there. Gives up the wall for Essing. Essing can't get around Richards. Fitzpatrick knocked off his stick by Moran. Now Essing again. This time it gets out towards center ice. Richards there to collect at the red line. Thrown back down into the Norwich zone. Sean Loftus again. This time off the stick of Essing. Richards a shot into the Norwich Sea Captains logo on the chest of Brendan Pellerito. He'll hold on for a faceoff to his right with just about 3 minutes gone by in the second period. Fresh legs on the ice for the Sea Captains. Evan Tower, Aiden Bain, Killian Ranger. Ready to go for a defensive zone faceoff. Controlled by the Sharks. Bernard at the point. That shot is blocked. Here's Killian Ranger racing up ahead. Ranger from the outside has Fisher cutting him off. Eventually sends one towards goal that Bender easily sends into the corner. Now Fisher wraps hard around the boards. That one goes through everybody. This should be icing as Romita chases after it. No, waved off as Jack Fitzpatrick shows the hustle. Romita still was the first one to the puck, but play continues. Out at center ice, it's Fisher swinging it back down into the Sea Captain zone. Tim Hayden there to pick up. He gives up ahead too far for Aiden Bain. This will be icing against the Sea Captain. No, out to play it is Justin Bender. So missed icings going both ways. Now here's Romita pinching in from the point. Flings one through the slot. Goes back up to the point where Hayden thinks about a shot. Now sends it on goal. Blocked in front by Carney. Carney with the puck on his backhand. Able to direct it on out. Thrown up ahead into the Sea Captain zone. Hayden this time gets the icing call. The faceoff will come back down into the Long Beach zone. So, a missed icing call against the Sharks. Justin Bender coming out of his cage, negating a Norwich icing. And finally, we have a whistle and a face-off coming up in the Long Beach zone. 16:05 to go in the second period. 1-0 your score. The Long Beach Sharks with the lead. Jamison Bain on the draw. He goes up against Hayden Doggett. Clean win by Bain. Sachs tries going right back for Bain, who is cutting from the face-off dot towards the front of a net. Loose puck in the corner, eventually controlled by Wiltfong. Wiltfong knocked down to the ice. At the point, Sachs was winding up for a shot. Got hit from behind by Montgomery. Now Montgomery with the puck into the Norwich zone. A centering feed can't be completed as Devin Carney was on the back door. Here's Medvedev at center ice. Sent off the skate of Jamison Bain into the Norwich zone. Daryl Smith working on Montgomery behind the net. Smith finds his way down to the ice. Puck still hanging out back there. Eventually Troy Harwell will pick it up. And here's Harwell gaining speed through center ice. Can't get around the defense of Carney as he loses possession of the puck. Medvedev goes back behind the net. Carney in the far corner plays up ahead. Daryl Smith breaks things up at the red line. Puck still controlled by the Sharks as Fitzpatrick gives to Medvedev, who tosses one into the far side corner. Now Plant overskates the puck behind the net. Harwell comes up with it. Harwell plays along the far side wall for Smith. Daryl Smith tries working it further up the wall. No sail there as Long Beach takes over. Giving back to the points. And Bricky a shot blocked in front. Bouncing puck swiped out of the zone by Bain. This may go all the way down for icing, and indeed it will. So now a defensive zone faceoff coming up for a tired Sea Captain squad. It'll remain Jamison Bain, Drew Schemmel, and Troy Harwell. Thought Harwell might have been able to sneak off the ice. No dice. So those three up front with Sachs and Smith as the defensemen. Off the draw for the Sharks, one back by Logan Plant. Softly played down low by Yamamoto. Now Zimbricki in the near side corner. Schemmel gives him some trouble. Plant falling down along the blue line. Still managed to send it across D to D. Plant this time has it knocked past him, and Jamison Bain is able to clear. Bain looking for a change, so that's why he doesn't go down on the forecheck. Zimbricki gives up ahead, and now Logan Plant sends down beneath the net of Brendan Pellerito. Slapped around to the near side wall. Yamamoto picks it up. Yamamoto trying to get around Nick Sachs. Bit of a size discrepancy there as Ryo Yamamoto's listed at 5'9". Meanwhile, Nick Sachs is 6'4". Just a little bit of a difference. Here's Tegan Beyer. Reverses for Sachs. Sachs then plays this up through midair. Drew Schemmel nearly able to glove it on down. Sean Loftus up ahead for Harwell. Harwell can't get around the defense of Fisher. Gets spun around by Fisher. Meanwhile, here come the Sharks back the other way. Getting caught from behind was Jake Weichel, but Weichel draws the penalty. And with 13:28 to go in the second period, Cam Holton will find himself going to the penalty box. He'll sit 2 minutes for hooking. And the Long Beach Sharks will go on to their first power play of the afternoon. Coming into this game, Long Beach in the top half of the league when it comes to the power play. They convert on 26.5% of their opportunities. Norwich ranked 26th as a penalty killer. They kill off 64.6% of their penalties. We mentioned how Norwich has surrendered 10 goals on the power play so far this year. Long Beach has only given up 1. Here's Harbor. His feed through the front goes off the skates of Weichel out towards center ice. Beyer gets knocked off the puck. And now here's Max Rostert into the zone. Rostert circles away. Chips it along for Harbor. Harbor has an option in Fisher in the point. Instead, spins around Cook. Harbor still with possession. The puck gives back to Fisher. Fisher a shot. Deflects off the stick of Weichel and wide. Now Rostert walking along the goal line. Knocked off his stick by Moran. Fitzpatrick goes back Fisher at the point. D to D across for Harbor. Dylan Harbor, the Alaskan, gives back for Fisher. Now Harbor, a one-time shot ripped wide to the far side, and that's a clear for the Sea Captains as that puck goes all the way down the ice. Thrown up, and now Rostert back into the Norwich zone. A puck just sitting in the high slot. Plant eventually flips it along far side. Long Beach maintains possession. Here's Harbor, a rising shot, catches nothing but glass. In the corner, Sharks once again control with 50 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Harbor walking on in. Harbor on his backhand, a shot off the shoulder of Pellerito. Behind the net, Hayden came together with Harbor. Those two were teammates last year for a time in Danbury. Weichel maintains possession, tries to get back for Harbor, knocked out of midair by Jack Kinahan. And that goes all the way back down into the Long Beach zone. Kinahan, a graduate of Trinity Catholic in Connecticut, played on the very last hockey team at Trinity Catholic, as Catholic schools all across the country are facing more and more troubles, especially during the pandemic. Here's Zembricki. Behind the net, tied up by Romita. Now Plant. Goes back behind Yamamoto. Back up at the point. Swung around. Carney, a shot saved by Pellerito. Rebound sent into the corner. Romita looking to clear. Carney keeps it alive. Sends far side. A return pass off the stick of Yamamoto gets blocked. Penalties expired. We're back to five-a-side hockey. Here's Yamamoto. Sending it down low for Plant. Plant knocked away from him. Hayden will pick it up. And Hayden flips this up and out of the zone. Too far out of the reach of Ethan Ranger as Kyle Gilbert stick handles further into his own end. Now he'll turn up ice. Gilbert touches one along Zembricki. Knocked away by Cam Holton. Here comes Holton in. His shot blocked down by Justin Bender. First big save that Bender's had to make in this period. Ranger goes back behind the cage. Jack Kinahan looking for the hit. Comes up with the puck as well. Kinahan tries to work it behind the cage. Cam Holton there to help out as well. Loose puck picked up by Fitzpatrick. And Fitzpatrick gives up for Zembricki, who sends it through center ice. Now Barnard gives back Zembricki. Zembricki scores! Tyler Zembricki catches Brendan Pellerito unawares. And with 10:26 to go in the second period, it's 2-0 Long Beach. For Zembricki, it is his 15th goal of the year. He leads the Long Beach Sharks now with 29 points on the year. That's better than a point per game for the youngster from East Islip, New York. And Sean Loftus, before lining up for this next faceoff, will give a tap to the pads of Brendan Pellerito because he definitely wants that one back. So, off the ensuing faceoff, here's Evan Tower trying to work it into the Long Beach zone. Turned around at the blue line, so he swings it across for Loftus. Loftus can't direct it down into the offensive zone. Fitzpatrick sends it into the Norwich end. Loftus goes behind the net, picks up Tower. Tower's pass off the boards too far for Killian Ranger. Slapped right back in front of us. At the blue line, Fitzpatrick trying to get around Loftus. Fitzpatrick walking across the slot. Sends one back across the green outside the reach of Matt Carson. Killian Ranger able to get the puck out of the zone. A 2-on-1, make it a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Here's Killian Ranger sending one across the slot. That goes off the stick of Medvedev. And the Sharks unable to clear. Here's Hayden from the point. Knocked down. I believe that went off of Medvedev in front. Behind the net, Tower can't cut it off. And Carson, hair flowing out from his helmet, sends it off the boards back down into the Norwich zone. Tim Hayden reverses back for Killian Ranger. Ranger knocked away by Carson. Carson centering feed, saved by Pellerito. Puck loose on the side of the cage. Now in the corner as Cam Holton plays it up, but not out. Medvedev walking towards the center of the ice. Gives back for Doggett. Doggett, sharp angle attempt, gloved by Pellerito. And he'll hold on for a face-off to his right. 9:08 to go in the second period. Face-off coming up to Pellerito's right as the Sea Captains and the Sharks both get the rest of their units out on the ice. There'll be Jamison Bain tasked with the offensive, or check that with the defensive zone face-off. Holden Wiltfong will step in for Long Beach. He's got Doggett in the shooter's position. A 50-50 draw. Bain is able to kick it along for Schemmel. Gilbert sent around behind the net, outside the reach of Walker Montgomery. Montgomery still going after the puck. Bain hits that with a high stick, pops out towards the front, and then twisting on down to the ice. Drew Schemmel manages to get it out of danger. Boy, Schemmel making the same move that Alex Ovechkin did on that goal against the Coyotes as a rookie. Here's Matteo Romita. Sent up ahead. Harwell, watched by Fisher. Harwell sends far side, a shot by Bain, and getting a piece of it was Bender. Now Romita from the point goes wide. Drew Schemmel, far side half wall, goes back. Hayden, one-time shot, kicked aside by Bender. Schemmel goes back to Hayden. Hayden, another one-timer. This time he missed wide. Romita holds it alive at the blue line, sends it back down deep. Fisher shovels along to the far side wall. Jamison Bain overskates the puck. Troy Harwell following up will send it down low into the corner. Here's Gilbert. D to D for Fisher. Stepping in on the point was Romita. He keeps it alive in the zone. Romita having to deal with the defense of Kyle Gilbert. Sharks take possession, played up. Now Hayden pinches on in. That keeps it alive only for a moment. Hayden has to get back into position as over the blue line is Kyle Gilbert sending it down deep. Tegan Byer, the first one there. Byer puts it right onto the tape of Gilbert, whose shot gets blocked by Byer. Romita trying to get around Weichel, sends it up ice. Medvedev from the blue line, his shot easily handled by Pellerito. Romita sends that off the glass, and then the puck's touched by a high stick, so the faceoff should come all the way down into the Long Beach end. With 7:24 to go in the second period, a second period that's seen a pair of goals scored by the Sharks. Next goal in this game is so important. It's the difference between a 1-goal game and a 3-goal game. It'll be Tegan Byer on the draw, Wilkie Cook, and Cam Holton, the wingers. Off the draw, controlled by the Sea Captains. All three Sea Captains forwards down on the ice, seemingly one after another. That's not a game of dominoes anybody here wants to see. Byer sends it back down into the Long Beach zone. Puck gets deflected through center ice off the skates of Sachs. Rostert trying to come up with possession. He will. Max Rostert gets around Sachs. Rostert cutting towards the front. A backhander gets blocked. Carney picks up the loose puck, sends it on goal, saved by Pellerito, and he holds on. Oh, positioning for a goaltender is tantamount if you want to be any good. And Brendan Pellerito couldn't actually see the puck, but he knew where it was coming from. Down in the butterfly, just lets the puck hit him in the chest, and he makes sure that the rebound doesn't get generated. Face off to Pellerito's right as Ethan Ranger sees this go behind the net. Moran plays it into an empty area. Dylan Harbour, the first one there. Harbour trying to dipsy-doodle his way around a couple of Norwich defenders. Lost possession of the puck. Here's Jack Kinahan back the other way. Flipped up off the glass by Gilbert. Ranger following up, keeps it alive. Essing wanted to go back to Loftus at the point. Intercepted and cleared out of the zone. Moran got it past Weichel. Harbour picks up the loose puck. Goes back to his defenseman Kyle Gilbert. Now Rostert up ahead for Weichel. Knocked away by Moran. Brian Essing picks up the puck. He's got a little space to maneuver as Essing gains the red line. Plays one off the boards for Kinahan. Kinahan coming in towards the front of the net. Gives back Ranger a one-time shot. Saved by Bender. Ranger on the follow-up. Fans on the shot. Loftus the drive. Bender with the save. Now Moran sends it back down low. Collected by Harbour, who goes behind the net for Medvedev. 6 minutes to go in the second period. Zembricki kicks one up ahead. Unable to control. The pass was Harbour. Sent back down into the Norwich zone where Romita will go D to D across for Sean Loftus. Loftus sends one off the glass. Can't be controlled by Bain. Medvedev on the play. Medvedev into the zone. Throws one across the slot. Fanning on the shot was Zembricki. And Pellerito will hold on to the puck. Face-off coming up to his left. Well, Nikita Medvedev now fourth on the Long Beach Sharks in points. He was their leading scorer for the first half of this regular season. Nikita Medvedev, a native of Indian Trail, North Carolina, naturally. Off the draw, it's sent back down into the Sea Captain zone. Romita behind the cage. Hayden trying to work it on out. Now Evan Tower. Tower saw the impending forecheck, reverses back to the far side. Killian Ranger can't get it down. Tower this time plays up ahead for Romita. At center ice, Richards wants to send it back down into the Norwich zone. That went off of Romita. He'll follow up on the play as Killian Ranger gets it into the zone. Ranger goes behind the net. In the Zamboni corner, turning with it is Fisher. Richards sends it hard around the wall, but Romita able to cut that off and keep it in the zone. He finds Tower. Tower sent on goal, saved by Bender. Now Hayden has his shot blocked. Aiden Bain on the follow through. His backhander sent towards the front, knocked away by Bender. Bain wanting to go for Tower behind the net, intercepted by Richards. And now Fisher on the far side, chipped off the boards. Zimbricki at center ice. This turns into a 2-on-1. Zimbricki sends across for Logan Plant, who sends a shot wide. There's a little room between the glove and the post of Pellerito. Now here's Harwell back the other way. Troy Harwell scores! Pops the bottle! 2-1. For Harwell, it's his 7th goal of the season as he goes over the blocker of Justin Bender and makes this a 1-goal game. 4:14 to go in the second period, and we've got ourselves a game. Finally, the Sea Captains were able to get some offensive pressure. And though the goal came off of the rush, it was that offensive pressure that forced the Long Beach defenseman to give a little respect to the Sea Captains. Now in front, Harwell again. He scores! Troy Harwell, his 2nd in under a minute, and we're tied at 2. For Harwell, his 7th of the year. And the Sea Captains are feeling it right now. Off the ensuing faceoff, Harwell stays out on the ice. Jamison Bain kicks it into the zone. Nick Sachs at the red line. As it bounces around, puck outside the reach of Harwell. You figure he'll head to the bench eventually, but you got to see how many more goals he has in him this shift. A pair of goals by Troy Harwell. We'll have to wait for the official scoring to find out exactly how far apart they were. It seemed like only a matter of seconds. Now we get it, 16 seconds between the both goals for Troy Harwell. Now here's Cam Holton. A backhander forced in on goal. Bender makes the save. And the faceoff will be to his right with 3:26 to go in the second period. Apparently the teams wanted to save all their scoring for the second. This was a 0-0 game through 20 minutes of play. 4 goals scored in this period, split between the two teams, as Tegan Byer steps in for this faceoff to the right of Justin Bender. Controlled by Logan Plant. Plant throws one up ice, knocked down by Moran as Yamamoto was hanging out by the Norwich blue line. Zimbricki trying to work it up ahead. Moran sends it into the corner. Zimbricki then able to recover. Sent in front, saved by Pellerito. Here's Richards at the point. Turns the puck over. Wilkie Cook back the other way. Byer over the blue line, but Wilkie Cook got over the blue line first. You're not allowed to do that. Faceoff will be back out in the neutral zone with 2:56 to go in the second period. Fresh sets of legs for both these teams. Essing, Kinahan, and Ranger up front for the Sea Captain. Stepping in for the draw for the Sharks is Jack Fitzpatrick. He's joined out there by Roberto Dominguez and Exia Fogelgren. First time that we've said either Dominguez or Fogelgren's name in this game. Off the stick of Fogelgren, he'll head on down into the Norwich zone. Pellerito plays it up the wall over the stick of Dominguez. Keeping it alive was Gilbert. Now Dominguez working down low in the corner. Centering feed. Goes through everybody. Brian Essing will pick it up. And here's Essing out of the zone. Over the blue line. Dropped along for Ranger. Ethan Ranger in a shot. Deflects in on goal. Bender still makes the save. Romita following up on the play. Battling for the puck in the corner. Essing there as well. Fitzpatrick picks up the loose puck in the slot. Plays one off the boards. Kinahan able to take it away from Fitzpatrick, but Fitzpatrick reaches back behind him and gets it out towards center ice. Romita under trouble. Essing up ahead, Ethan Ranger. Ethan Ranger over the blue line. Stepped into by Fitzpatrick, and Fitzpatrick will take the puck away. Dominguez plays it up towards center ice. Fitzpatrick knocked down to the ice. Nice hit thrown by Tim Hayden. Now Romita. Played up ahead, Killian Ranger. Killian Ranger unable to clear as Dylan Harbour keeps it alive in the zone. Romita following up on the play. Gets it out of the zone, and now Aiden Bain overskates the puck at the blue line. Rostert picks it up for the Sharks. He got the scoring started earlier in this period. Here's Max Rostert now on a 2-on-1 with Jake Weichel. Rostert to the slot, a shot, hits the post. Pellerito looks behind him, knocks it out of the way, and the Sea Captains are able to clear. Oh, Max Rostert beat Brendan Pellerito to the glove side, but he's stymied by the iron. Aiden Bain picks up a turned over puck into the Long Beach zone. Can't get anything going offensively. Back the other way they come. Here's Dylan Harbour, and a shot saved by Pellerito, and he holds on. Fire wagon hockey in the last few minutes of the second period. 1:04 to go in the frame. Face-off coming up to the left of Pellerito. It'll be Jake Weichel on the draw for Long Beach. He'll go up against Jamison Bain. On a 50-50 draw, coming in to help out is Daryl Smith. Eventually, the Sea Captains will take possession. Smith gets tripped up on the play. Play continues as Rostert flips one back up to Carney at the point. Carney, a shot, went wide. He was looking for a deflection off the side of the cage from Weichel. 48 to go in the period. Slapped down the ice by Schemmel. This will be an icing against the Sea Captains. And with 42.1 to go in the period, we'll do it all over again in the Norwich zone to the left of Brendan Pellerito. So Bain on another defensive zone faceoff. This time he'll go up against Logan Plant. Long Beach with an interesting setup on this offensive zone faceoff. They've slid their two defensemen to the winger positions, and they've got the wingers on the blue line. Here's Zembricki stepping in. Zembricki, a shot, and that goes off the post as well. Now Nick Sachs with 30 seconds to go in the period. Off the boards for Harwell. Harwell then gets taken out by the red line monster. Took out Evan Richards as well. Sent back down into the Sea Captain zone. Icing this time against Long Beach. And with 20.8 seconds to go, an offensive zone face-off for the Sea Captains coming up. It'll be Cook, Holton, and Byer up front. Sea Captains will set up on the right wing side. Sean Loftus on the point, along with Tony Moran. On the draw for Long Beach is Logan Plant. 50-50 draw, ends up in the corner this time. The Sharks will take possession. Plant plays up ahead for Zembricki. Zembricki throws far side for Yamamoto. Yamamoto and Moran come together into the wall. Moran ends up down on the ice. 8 seconds to go in the period. Sharp angle attempt goes wide. Off the boards, it goes out of the zone. 2 seconds and 1, and that'll do it. So at the end of 2 periods, Beach by a 13-12 margin. Long Beach, however, still with the advantage through 40 minutes, out shooting Norwich 26-20. Norwich in their home whites going from right to left on your screens at home as we're underway. And here's Tyler Zembricki. His shot hits the post. That's the third post that the Sharks have hit in the last 2 minutes of game time. A shot from the point blocked. Carney, a shot. He scores. 19 seconds into the period. And the Long Beach Sharks regain the lead. It's 3-2. For Devin Carney, it is his second goal of the season. And the Sharks retake the lead before the Sea Captains even get the puck into the Long Beach zone. Well, both teams wanted to start this period off quickly. The Sharks able to do so. So on the ensuing faceoff, Jamison Bain sees this puck controlled by Long Beach. Dylan Harbour racing up ahead. Harbour spinning in the corner. Goes back to Gilbert at the point. Gilbert, his shot deflected in front, saved by Pellerito. Schemmel plays it off the wall, looking for Harwell in the neutral zone. That's cut down by Medvedev and sent back down. Now Hayden across for Romita. Romita this time goes higher off the glass. Schemmel will chase after this. Schemmel gets tripped up on the play. No icing on the play as Medvedev plays it off the wall out of the zone over the stick of Hayden. Hayden managed to get a piece of it, so no icing going the other way. Hayden In the Zamboni corner, nearly losing an edge, was Max Rothsart. Meanwhile, Medvedev, a spin-around shot, goes through the crease and wide. Rothsart, once again, behind the net, centering one. That goes off the heel of the stick of Dylan Harbour. Medvedev gives down low. Rothsart with speed across the top of the slot. Now on the forehand side, sends one behind to the cage. Jamison Bain looking to clear. Medvedev pinching in from the point, couldn't hold it in the zone. Here's Troy Harwell, one-on-one with Kyle Gilbert. Harwell at the blue line, waiting for reinforcements as the rest of the Sea Captains were in the middle of a change. Weichel unable to come up with it. Harwell will maintain possession, and he shovels back for Nick Sachs. Sachs up ahead off the stick of Holton and into the possession of Gilbert. Gilbert manages to spin it out towards center ice. Now Gilbert again. Softly played off the wall. Daryl Smith has that go off of his skates, and then Smith gets belted down hard to the ice. He pops right back up as Cam Holton gets into the zone. Holton gives for Byer, and now Smith along the blue line. D-to-D across for Sachs. Sachs sends a rising shot, punched aside by Bender. Loose puck picked up by the Sharks, and they're able to clear. Zembricki gives up ahead. Yamamoto will pick this up off the near side wall. Given for Plant, but a whistle and an interference call coming up against Logan Plant and the Long Beach Sharks. So it's 17:37 to go in regulation time. The Sea Captains will go on to their second power play of the game. They're 0 for 1 so far. And Logan Plant, who would be expected to take some of these shorthanded penalty or some of these shorthanded face-offs, will instead have to watch the next 2 minutes from the sin bin. So Sea Captains on their second power play, they trail 3-2. It's Ethan Ranger, Evan Tower, Drew Schemmel up front, Tony Moran, and Hayden on the point. They score! Evan Tower! A power play goal! And we're tied at 3. For Tower, it's his second goal of the year. And Evan Tower, who's listed at 5'9", used just about every inch going post to post, just barely getting the puck around the outstretched leg of goaltender Justin Bender to tie things up. A late change by the Sea Captains. It'll be Ranger, Essing, and Kinahan on the ensuing face-off, but the Sea Captains able to respond. They're staying close in this game. The Long Beach Sharks certainly can score in bunches, but the Sea Captains are staying in it. Now here's Essing. Tries directing a pass for Kinahan, intercepted by Carney. Sharks able to clear. Flipped off the boards by Carson. Montgomery kicks the puck up to his stick. Loose puck. Carson following up on the play. Sends it on goal. Saved by Pellerito. And he'll hold on for a face-off to his right. Puck just pinballing around in the slot. Everybody taking a swipe at it with their stick, but the puck not really cooperating with either team. 2:54 gone by in the third period. Each team already finding the back of the net. We're tied at 3. Fitzpatrick and Ranger on the draw. Ethan Ranger with the face-off win, but then Fitzpatrick able to come up with possession of the puck. Here's Romita. Unable to get it out of the zone. Ethan Ranger gives a swipe behind the net. Picked up by Matteo Romita. And Romita will take things out of the zone. 4-on-2 come the Sea Captains across the line. Romita, a rising shot, goes over the top of the net. Loose puck picked up by Essing. Given to Romita in the corner. Back behind the net, Essing. Brian Essing wants to set up Ethan Ranger. And his pass knocked away by Medvedev. Now Barnard for the Sharks. Flips this one off the ceiling, and the faceoff's going to come back down into the Long Beach zone. 3:34 now gone by in the third. Tower, Bain, and Killian Ranger up front for the home team. It'll be Doggett on the draw for the Sharks. A 50-50 draw. Tower comes up with it, takes the shot. That one surprised Bender. He's still able to get a glove on it. Now in the near side corner. 3 Long Beach Sharks looking for the puck. Coming up with it is Kyle Gilbert. Thrown through center ice, too far for Montgomery. Daryl Smith will chase after it, and he gets his body in the way of a centering feed. And Doggett was left all alone in front. Now Killian Ranger back the other way. Ranger hits the red line and sends it down deep. Bender out of his cage, tries sending it into the far side corner. Wiltfong works it up the wall. And now Doggett at center ice. Gets run into by Sachs. Aiden Bain trying to come up with possession of the puck. Killian Ranger eventually will, and he'll softly send it back down into the Long Beach end before going off for a change. Chasing after this is Aiden Bain. Montgomery on the near side wall. Wilkie Cook keeps it alive. Here's a centering feed by Tower. Tower then takes the shot, gloved by Bender, and he'll hold on for a faceoff to his right. 4.5 gone by in the third. Shots even at 4 apiece right now for these two teams, as Tegan Beyer prepares to duel with Jake Weichel. Beyer clean win back. Moran, a one-time shot blocked by Harbor. Nice job by Dylan Harbor getting into the shooting lane. From a neutral zone, Holton sends it back down deep. Off the end wall, Bender sets it up for his defenseman, Evan Richards. Richards, however, turns it over. Now Beyer throws back into the near side wall. Weichel the only one there. Holton looking to keep it alive, but a hand pass called as Holton used his glove to keep it in the zone, and Tony Moran then played the puck. So the faceoff will come outside of the Long Beach end with 15:08 to go in regulation time. Well, this has been a fun one so far. This wraps up a set of 3 games in 3 days for the Long Beach Sharks. Bit of an oddity on their schedule, and not sure about the accuracy of this, but the next game for Long Beach will be on the 22nd. They'll visit the Northeast Generals. A 7:30 face-off up in Attleboro, and then they'll play against the Gens the next day as well with a 1 o'clock face-off. Meanwhile, the Sea Captains, after this game, they'll take to the road on the 22nd up to Holyoke, Massachusetts for a 5:40 face-off against the Bay State Bobcats. And, well, if the Sea Captains are going to, don't want to call it a miracle, but if the Sea Captains are going to really flip the script around and make a run for the playoffs, they need to win about 2/3 of their games for the rest of the season. This goes all the way down the ice. Icing is called. Coming into this game, the Sea Captains are currently 15 points out of a playoff spot. The New Jersey Titans in 4th place in the Eastern Division have 24 points. Meanwhile, Long Beach, they are clear of the playoff, or rather they're in the playoffs by a 13-point margin. They're in 2nd overall in the division. Every team in this division, of course, chasing after the Northeast Generals, as the Generals this year have a 26-2 record. Both their losses coming outside the division at the Super Tournament in Blaine. Behind the net, turning with the puck, is Rostert. Sends down low for Weichel. Weichel knocked away by Jamison. Bain. Rostert there to pick up the loose puck. He chips one towards the front, saved by Pellerito, and then on the follow-through, Weichel sent it wide. Here's Harwell, who has 2 of the 3 goals for the Sea Captains. Lost possession of the puck at center ice. Weichel comes up with it and gets back into the Norwich zone. Knocked aside by Hayden. Romita plays it along the wall. Jamison. Bain gets run over in his own zone, as getting a little high on him. I believe that was Isaiah Fogelgren. We'll have to see exactly who. Actually, no, it was Dylan Harbor. So Bain able to get back to the Norwich bench. Puck down in the Sharks' end as it's Ryo Yamamoto. Yamamoto through center ice, off the stick of Plant. Plant will pick it up at the red line, chipping it along for Zembricki, but a nice defensive play by Daryl Smith breaks up the offensive rush. Medvedev sends the puck down deep. Pellerito behind his own cage, plays it along the wall. Too far for Kinahan. Yamamoto sends one towards the front. That pinball's off of a couple skates in front of the cage. Zembricki lost possession, and now Ethan Ranger. Brian Essing waiting for the puck to go through his legs. Actually came out to his stick side. Turned over. Medvedev from center ice will send this one hard around the boards. Partially knocked down by Sachs. Ranger tried going up the wall. Ranger then has the puck go over his stick. He trips up Logan Plant. Play continues. Here's Ranger along the near side. Medvedev holds it in the zone. Ranger, another opportunity to clear, and Medvedev again able to hold it in. Nikita Medvedev sneaking on in from the blue line. Over 7.5 gone by in the third. At the blue line, Yamamoto flings it across for Gilbert. Kyle Gilbert a shot, missed high. Yamamoto able to keep it alive. Gives a head fake to get around Essing, and then Yamamoto has puck roll off of his stick. Ethan Ranger there to pick it up. He'll send it down the ice. No icing on the play, and that will allow the Sea Captains to get a change. Medvedev, Gilbert, and Medvedev again. Killian Ranger on the forecheck. Forces a turnover. Now he'll chase for the puck behind the net. Ethan Ranger to the bench as the Sea Captains complete their change. Here's through center ice. It's Fitzpatrick. Knocked away by Moran. Evan Tower, who has the last goal in this game, breaks into the Long Beach zone. From a long ways away, his shot gets blocked down by Medvedev, flipped off the glass. This goes back down into the Sea Captain's end. No icing on the play as the puck hits a snowbank in front of the Zamboni doors and never crosses the goal line. Now Tower along the wall. Fisher pinching in from the point, keeps it alive. Fisher from his knees plays it across the ice. Stepping into that is Carson. Carson unable to come up with the puck. Aiden Bain leaves it along for Evan Tower. Here's Tower into the zone. Bain has Evan Richards go flying past him, and Richards runs into Tower. Meanwhile, back at center ice, here's Tower picking up the loose puck. Given along for Tim Hayden, the defenseman into the zone. At the half wall, his shot sent aside by Bender. Fisher along the wall, fresh off the bench with some speed was Tegan Byer. Meanwhile, here's Carson by himself, a shot saved by Pellerito. Another big hit getting turned over that time was Romita. Well, the Sharks, they can't beat you on the scoreboard. They'll just try and beat you, and right now they are certainly asserting themselves physically. Hayden plays behind the net, Romita. Onto the stick of Cam Holton. Holton looking to split the D, tripped up on the play. That's a penalty coming up against the Sharks. There's the whistle. And with 10:20 to go in regulation time, the Norwich Sea Captains will go back onto the power play. They're 1 for 2 so far. As heading to the penalty box for the Sharks is Matt Carson. So the Sea Captains will set up to the left of Justin Bender. It'll be Schemmel, Tower, and Ethan Ranger up front. Tony Moran, Tim Hayden on the point. Coming onto the ice to kill this off is Dylan Harbour and Jake Weichel. They've got Nikita Medvedev and Kyle Gilbert behind them. It'll be Harbour and Ranger on the draw. Ranger a clean win back, collected by Moran at the blue line. Moran walks towards the center of the ice, sends one that goes wide of the cage. Medvedev picks up the loose puck behind the net, knocked off by Tower. Now Ranger for Schemmel. A shot stopped by Bender, and he holds on. And then Evan Tower gets cross-checked up high as he was looking for the rebound in front of the net. Nice job, though, by Justin Bender having to go post to post. Drew Schemmel had earmarked that one for the back of the net. No penalties will arise from that little fracas. Face-off will be to Bender's right. Only 16 seconds elapsed off the penalty. Ethan Ranger, Dylan Harbour once again. This time Harbour gets the better of things. Wins the face-off into the corner. Sharks unable to clear. They score! Ethan Ranger! A power play goal! 4-3 Sea Captains! For Ranger, it is his 11th goal of the season. That leads the team, and for the first time today, the Norwich Sea Captains have the lead. 9:58 to go in the third period, and a pair of power play goals in the third. Right now, the difference. This next shift, the most important of the game. We saw at the beginning of the period how quickly Long Beach can score. They scored 16 seconds into the period. Sea Captains, at the very least, have to keep Long Beach at bay for this next shift. Plant chasing after the puck in the Norwich zone. Tony Moran Comes together with Plant. Puck still underneath the two of them. Eventually coming up with it is Byer. Byer sends it up the wall, but not out. Byer following up on the play is able to get it as far as the red line. Now Byer with possession. Tegan Byer, a clean lane to the net. A shot. Getting a stick on it was Gilbert. It goes wide. Cam Holton crunched up against the boards. Now it's Wilkie Cook. Across for Byer. Byer a shot. Looking 5-hole. Bender down in the butterfly makes the save. Sent behind the cage where it's picked up by Fisher. 9:15 to go in regulation time. Loftus sends it back down into the Long Beach zone. Sharks just as quickly take it back the other way. Here's Zembricki into the Norwich end. A shot into the glove of Pellerito. And Brendan Pellerito will hold on for a face-off to his left with 9:01 to go in the third period. Five fresh legs on the ice for the Sea Captains. It'll be the line of Jamison Bain, Drew Schemmel, and Troy Harwell up front. Looks like they're doing some repairs on the ice in the crease of Brendan Pellerito. Goaltenders can be strange enough, but if the crease isn't perfect, I'm sure that's even worse. Dylan Harbour on the draw. He's got Weichel up front with him. Cleared out of the zone, and Max Rostert will take it up from his own blue line. Onto the tape of Weichel. Weichel, a long-range shot off the stick of Daryl Smith. And the faceoff remains in the Sea Captains' end with 8:48 to go in regulation time. Well, Norwich and head coach Kevin Cunningham keeping the shift short. A new 5 players, a new 5-man unit out on the ice. It'll be the line of Ranger, Essing, and Kinahan. Meanwhile, Max Rostert on the straw, the left-handed shot, manages to win it back for Medvedev. Now Rostert goes back to the point. One-time shot goes wide of the cage off the stick of Carson. Now Medvedev. His pass knocked away by Kinahan. Back to retrieve is Richards. Richards sends it up towards center ice. Ranger there. And then Brian Essing gives along for Kinahan. Can't get it down deep off the shins of Medvedev. Hayden on the second attempt will get it on down. Medvedev wraps this one around the wall. Hits a glass stanchion right onto the tape of Dylan Harbour, but then Harbour overskates the puck. And offsides is called against the Sea Captains. Didn't look like the puck had actually crossed the goal line, but we're not the guy with the stripes and the whistle, so the faceoff will come outside of the Long Beach zone. 8:14 to go in the third period. Hayden Doggett on the draw for the Sharks. He goes up against Evan Tower. A warning against Tower. Off the faceoff, controlled by the Sharks. Fisher plays one off the wall. Killian Ranger swings it back down deep. Bender leaving it behind the cage for Carney. Carney up ahead, Montgomery. That drew the attention of Hayden. Ranger following up on the play. He's able to knock it away. But the Sharks still get into the zone regardless. Here's Doggett in the near side corner. His centering feed goes off the skates of Romita. Four Sea Captains looking towards the corner. Either way, they're able to maintain possession as Evan Tower flings this down ice. Killian Ranger's going to chase after, and Ranger beats out the icing call. Ranger then gets hit hard into the boards. Aiden Bain in there as well. Montgomery, or check that, that's Doggett with possession of the puck as he goes through center ice. Pass goes behind Wiltfong. Loftus looking to clear, he does. Carney cuts that down at the Norwich blue line, sends it back down into the Sea Captain's end. Loftus into an empty area, off the boards, onto the tape of Tegan Byer. Here's Byer with Wilkie Cook cutting towards the front of the net. Cook now gives a go at it himself, knocked away by Fisher. Looking to clear out Fitzpatrick, but Cam Holton at the blue line keeps it alive, and Tony Moran will get it down deep. 7 minutes to go in regulation time. Here's Doggett again. This time knocked down by Holton. Montgomery behind the cage. Fisher. And Montgomery again. Wilkie Cook got tripped up. Play continues as Fitzpatrick has that knocked off of his stick. Jamison Bain will send it back down. Cam Holton on the forecheck as it's picked up by Tyler Fisher. He goes off the boards. Kept alive by Smith. Smith pitchforks this one towards the front of the net. Glove down by Fisher. Sharks pinned in their own end right now. Here's Carson sending one off the wall. Kept alive by Nick Sachs. Sachs sends one on goal. They score! Deflected in front. Jamison Bain. 5-3 Sea Captains. We spoke earlier in this game about Jamison Bain and how he is blossoming as a forward. And you see the skills he's developed right there, deflecting the shot from Sachs at the point through the 5-hole of Justin Bender. And with 6:23 to go in regulation time, the Sea Captains lead by 2. For Bain, it is his second goal of the season. And Sea Captains getting offense from some new areas in the 2022 calendar year as Medvedev plays up ahead. Plant knocked away off his stick. Yamamoto at center ice, turning deeper into his own end. He'll play it off the glass right in front of us. Tim Hayden gives on back for Bain, who chops one down deep. Bender leaves it behind the cage. Medvedev overskated it. Drew Schemmel trying to hunt the puck down, unable to do so. Instead, it'll be Yamamoto out through center ice. Along for Plant, and now Tyler Zembricki. Zembricki cutting towards the front, and a backhand shot off the shoulder of Pellerito. Zembricki goes back to Medvedev at the point. Medvedev's shot blocked by Harwell. Medvedev recollects the puck, flings one wide. Loose puck picked up by Yamamoto. Under 5.5 to go in regulation time. Here's Yamamoto. Stick handling at the blue line, gives down low Medvedev. Medvedev along the goal line, sends one through the crease. Nobody home on the back door for the Sharks. Sharks still control. Here's Kyle Gilbert. He'll send one that takes a real interesting hop off a glass stanchion. And they're going to say that the puck instead was touched by a high stick. So the faceoff's going to remain in the Norwich zone. 5:09 to go in the third period, and the Sea Captains lead by 2. Off the high stick, Long Beach able to select what side of the ice they want their faceoff on. They'll choose the right wing side as Dylan Harbour prepares to duel with Ethan Ranger. Harbour with the faceoff win. Stepping in from the point was Weichel. Now back out towards center ice. Rotsart sends it back off the glass. Moran able to settle it. And Kinahan directs up ahead for Brian Essing. Essing hits the goal line, goes behind the net. Richards able to steal the puck away. Rotsart trying to get around Ethan Ranger. He does. Here come the Sharks 3-on-2 into the Norwich zone. Rotsart drops back Harbour. Harbour lost the puck in his skate. Stolen away by Ranger. Flipped out towards center ice. Richards able to spike it back towards the Norwich end. And Gilbert sends it into the zone. Just as quickly, Tony Moran sends it back the other way. Will this be icing? Yes. So 4:32 to go in the third period. And a face-off coming up in the zone belonging to Brendan Pellerito. Not sure if head coach Kevin Cunningham will utilize his timeout here as he's got some tired legs on the ice, but looks as though he'll keep it in his pocket for now. So Max Rodstart, the left-handed shot on the draw, manages to win it. Rodstart gives along Fisher. Fisher then has his pass stolen away by Loftus. Moran goes hard around the boards and out of the zone. Carney will chase after this. No icing on the play, so Norwich gets to change. Carney, long pass up ahead for Harbour, knocked away by Smith, cleared back out of the zone. Now Carney goes far side. Fisher will send it down deep. Pellerito out of his cage. Puck hit the boards in front of the Zamboni doors, so Pellerito was unable to slow it on down. Norwich still able to clear it all the way back with 4 minutes to go in regulation time. Tyler Fisher behind his net. He sends one around the boards, collected by Sachs at center ice, and Sachs from the red line will throw it back down. Aiden Bain on the forecheck. Forces a turnover. Here's Tower wanting to go back to Smith. Knocked away by Weichel. Weichel gets around Smith. It's a 2-on-1 down low. Sent in front Zembricki. Saved by Pellerito. And he holds on. Brendan Pellerito's biggest save of the game as Tyler Zembricki was all by himself down low. Decided to take a one-time shot instead of handling the puck much longer. And Pellerito getting big on the edge of his crease makes the save. Face-off will be to his right with 3:37 to go in the third period. Off the draw, won by Bayer. Here's Romita behind the net. Matteo Romita gets taken down to the ice. Play continues as Medvedev sends one towards the front of the cage. Saved by Pellerito, and he clears the rebound himself. Holton and Zembricki along the wall. Holton tries playing it to himself behind the back. Not sure what basketball court he learned that move on, but Holton will softly send it down into the Sharks' end. 3:10 to go in regulation time. Holton behind the net, leaves it for Wilkie Cook. Cook, centering feed, goes off of a few Long Beach defenders. Keeping the puck alive at the blue line is Tim Hayden. A 2-3-4 check for the Sea Captains as Cook and Holton both go piling in as Justin Bender holds on to the puck. Cam Holton wants to know why Evan Richards was allowed to ride him like a sled, but referee will not give him an answer for that. Holton with a couple words for the Long Beach defenders before heading back to the Norwich bench. 2:55 to go in the third period. Face off to the left of Justin Bender. Bain, Harwell, and Schemmel. The line for the Sea Captains. Stepping in for the draw for Long Beach is Jack Fitzpatrick. Here's Carson picking up the puck from his own end. Tries to send one up ahead for Barnard. Offsides is called. And the faceoff will be outside the Norwich zone with 2:48 to go. Well, this has certainly been an entertaining game. No goals in the first period. A pair of goals by each team in the second. Long Beach jumps out to a 3-2 lead, 16 seconds into the third. Now the Sea Captains with 3 unanswered, including 2 on the power play, lead it 5-3. 2:37 to go. Here's Gilbert in his own end. Played up ahead. Offsides called as Fitzpatrick got ahead of the play, and that's going to move the faceoff to the faceoff dots outside of the Long Beach zone, as that's where the pass originated from. So 2:32 to go. Kinahan, Essing, Ethan Ranger up front. Fitzpatrick on the draw for the Sharks. He's got Matt Carson and Chris Barnard out there with him. Fitzpatrick with the clean face-off win. Here's Fisher playing one off the boards. Sachs wanted to try and keep that in play. Almost like a basketball player leaning over the baseline. But puck ends up in the Norwich bench. Face-off will be outside the Sea Captains end with 2:24 to go in the third. Neither team utilizing their timeout just yet. Max Rotzart on the draw for the Sharks. Wanted to win it forward, eventually gets it into the zone. Ethan Ranger sends it back the other way. Loose puck intercepted by Kinahan. Kinahan then pops the helmet off the head of Devin Carney, and Carney has to go back to the Long Beach bench. That draws some whoops and hollers from the Sea Captains faithful as Rotzart picks up a puck in the corner. Darryl Smith wanted a reverse, cut down by Rotzart with 2 minutes to go. Rotzart behind the net. To the bench goes Justin Bender. Extra attacker on for the Sharks. They need 2 to tie. It's Gilbert going down low behind the net of Pellerito. Centering feed knocked away. Essing sends it all the way down and in! Brian Essing, the empty netter. And it's 6-3. For Brian Essing, it is his second goal of the year. And what a revelation he has been for the Norwich Sea Captains. This is his 5th game. That's his 5th point of the year. Sea Captains simply have just been a different team since Brian Essing came to the Rose of New England. And they lead it 6-3 with 100 seconds to go. Here's Evan Tower centering one in front for Killian Ranger. Ranger was a bit handcuffed on the play. Sharks looking to clear it out of the zone. It's Holden Wiltfong over center ice into the Sea Captain zone. Romita looks to clear it on out, picks up some help from Aiden Bain, and Killian Ranger will send it all the way down. Bender, who is in line to record his first loss of the season, sees this puck get worked out of his own end. Turned over at the red line. Aiden Bain gets hit hard into the boards, pops right back up to his skates as they go through center ice. Carney gives back to Richards with under a minute to play in the third period. Montgomery touches one along. A rising shot into the glove of Pellerito. Pellerito can play it if he wanted to. There was no Sharks in the vicinity. That still managed to draw another 4 or 5 seconds off the clock. Face-off will be to Pellerito's right with 44.9 to go in the game. Well, the Norwich Sea Captains For the first time since October, I'll check that. For the first time since September the 26th and October the 2nd, have won consecutive games in a row. Or rather, they will win consecutive games in a row. Still 35 seconds to go. Barnard canceled out by Loftus. Behind the net, Holton jumps out of the way of a check. Loftus sends one that takes another funny hop off the glass stanchion. Sends back out towards center ice. Cam Holton tries giving it up to his stick. 20 seconds to go. Here's Carney over the blue line. Dropped back Barnard. His shot swallowed up by Pellerito, and he'll hold on. And Pellerito, I think, wants a couple words with the Shark who was forechecking in front of him. That was Devin Carney, the big defenseman for the Sharks. 14 seconds to go. Time for one last face-off in this game, as it'll be Jack Fitzpatrick on the draw against Jamison Bain. Bain with the face-off win back. Drew Schemmel sends one off the glass out of the zone. 8 seconds to go. And the Norwich Sea Captains have come from behind. They defeat the Long Beach Sharks by a score of 6-3. The Sea Captains improve on the year to 4-22-3. They now have 11 points, and they trail the New Jersey Titans by 13 for the final playoff position. The Long Beach Sharks fall to 17-8-3 on the year, as they will have a rather somber trip back down to Long Beach in the city, or rather in New York. The Norwich Sea Captains come on out.